Our boy, Howard Hamlin McGill, has one final lawn game paper in here. Let's see what this is. Howard's at 20, I'm at 6, and I had a pinch hitter. I don't know how many times they've mowed, but I think it's been more than 6 since they started. Okay, and then right here, Howard's response. Congratulations, Robbie. I can see that you won with 6 mows and would have won with 8 mows or less no matter what. Enclosed is a Chipotle gift card for $6. And then, of course, we've got the requisite response below. You can pause that and read it yourself. Hey, this is $10. I demand my $6 gift card. Thank you very much, Howard. Howard, I hope that you have finally been able to stop mowing your lawn. Thank you very much for the gift card. I think we know who the winner here is. It's the lawn mowing company who is now getting paid to mow the lawn. Although I must admit that it is a much nicer experience out in the yard when it's actually mowed and kept well. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna be me though. I believe I've mentioned this podcast before, the Overanalyzers. If you like me and my mom's podcast that we do sometimes, it's kind of like that, only instead of just one dude my age, it's 2 dudes my age and no dude my mom age. So it's 2 brothers, and one of them was a music theory YouTuber for a little while, but he stopped because he burned out. And then in their very first episode of this podcast, they talked about why he stopped. And he said he was looking at the problem and he realized it had a whole bunch of factors, but the main one was that it was an emotional problem. And I don't know if it's actually most problems, but it feels like most problems are emotional problems. Mowing the lawn itself is not that big of a deal, and it can be even enjoyable if you have a nice podcast to listen to. But the way I felt about mowing the lawn was the biggest hindrance towards mowing the lawn. To me, mowing the lawn is as ridiculous a concept as raking a forest. The lawn is outside. It is supposed to take care of itself. Now, if I actually use this lawn, maybe I would actually feel different about it, and I'd be like, okay, this is a curated space that I take care of, and mowing it is just part of that. And I would feel the same way that I feel about cleaning. But I just can't get my head around that because it seems like wasted land. It should be farmland, or it should be like a nice habitat for animals, because nobody in this household is using this lawn. Now, the catch-22 is that if the lawn were nicer, my mom would probably use it a little bit more, so there would be somebody actually using it. So the current solution is a good one, and I'm glad my brother's paying for the lawn mowing. Thank you, brother. But the point of what I'm saying is that every problem has an emotional component to it, and that's usually the hardest part of the problem. For example, take a mess like this. I'm sure a lot of people, when they see a mess like this, they don't feel good about cleaning it. They don't feel like, oh yeah, I want to clean that, and it's gonna be great. Fortunately for me, not only do I not feel bad about cleaning, and I don't dread it, most times I look forward to it and enjoy it. But how on earth do you get yourself to feel good about things that most people feel bad about? I don't know, but hopefully you feel good about enough things that you need to do, that your life isn't just always feeling bad about everything that you have to do. Was that profound? No. And speaking of feelings, Final Fantasy XVI feels nothing like a Final Fantasy game. I know they put chocobos in there and they have a Cid character in there, but it just doesn't feel like Final Fantasy. And I don't know if I could necessarily define that. I could probably list a whole bunch of things that would define it, but it does not feel like a Final Fantasy game. However, I thought it was a great game and I had a great time with it, but this is just taking the name of something that has a history and a style and using that name to sell you a different game that is also quite good, but it's not the same. And I wish I could feel differently about it, but I just don't. Anyways, my point is I finished the game. I think it took me about 40 hours. I thought it was a fantastic game. It was so much fun. Almost gave me RSI though from mashing buttons. But it's really funny that since the very first trailer they showed for this game, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. This does not look like a colorful, imaginative world with some lightheartedness and a party that's gonna go on an adventure. So in the end, the game was not for me, and that's too bad, but it seems a lot of other people liked it, so I'm happy for them. However, I will say, can we stop having characters that are always whispering? Like The Witcher, I understand, but Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn and this dude from Final Fantasy XVI, why are they always so breathy? Like, oh, right, I just really don't like it. Now this game, on the other hand, this is a game that is easy to love. I picked this up on launch day, but I didn't really get into it until a few weeks ago. And now I'm almost at the very end of the true ending. This game is fantastic. The gameplay I wasn't worried about. You got good tactics gameplay, awesome. But the music is just killer. This is a killer soundtrack. And unexpectedly, the story turned out to be the most interesting part. I was like, I don't know if this has like the same Final Fantasy Tactics like intrigue and vibe when I first started playing it, but by the time you get to the end, you're like, oh man, how are these characters gonna act? And there were times where I was literally just like, no, Roland, no, come on, man, Roland, you know that's not the right way to go. Come on, Roland. Actually, the more I think about it, the more this game has one of the best stories in a video game that I've played. Like, all of the character motivations make complete sense. Everything is consistent from start to finish, and I actually cared about what the characters did and the consequences of their actions. Oh, and not to mention, you get to choose which path you go, and you're like, oh, how am I gonna react in this? And then people ask you questions like, oh, how would I answer? Very fun game, highly recommended. I just have a little bit more until I finally see the true ending, but the final battles are kind of hard because my guys are kind of low leveled, but great game. Now, I know this jacket has been an absolute staple of the vlog, but it is time to finally get a better jacket for running because I'm so sick of these little things hitting me in the face. And I'm so sick of this stupid hood. We're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix it. Look at it. Just bouncing around, waiting to hit me in the face or in my teeth. Even worse. Okay, stretching has been going pretty well. I don't know if I'm getting any more limber, but feels pretty good. Maybe we just need to be more comfortable with incremental change and small percentage changes. I think we always feel like we gotta have some night and day difference after we make some change in our life. But a lot of times the changes only make like a few percent difference. Okay, that's gonna do it for today's vlog. The work on the new episode is almost finished. We actually worked on the boating episode, which I think I've talked about before. And this is one of my favorite episodes we have ever done. I don't know what it is about it, but it is gonna be a great episode. And if you're waiting for the Japan videos, I promise you this one will be worth it. So please look forward to it. But I gotta get back to work on that. I might see you later in the week, or maybe not. Until then, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.